rough on this island. Really rough.
And rough.
I don't like copycats. You know what I'm saying? You all saw how Pintard actually copied Lincoln being that day. You also
Yeah.
What's that?
In terms
oh,
of
Michael Pintard copied Lincoln being with this fake little he conjured up like he out to an abandoned house with low pressure hose. I call it a water gun.
Well, I guess some that I asked if some of the others did, they don't look like the one that did because it has a lot of broken windows and stuff. And if you notice, getting the top of the roof,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like it be shining in.
Right.
You could see it inside the house where they in the fire.
Yeah.
What's going on? Then the cars, when they stand up between, push going up, come on.
abandoned house,
Boy,
But the thing is, right?
they get
What you think spurred all of this action from
from
the opposition leader?
from Mr. Pindar,
Yeah. What spurred that?
the leadership of Mr. Lincoln Bain.
But look here. The thing is, right? It's sad to see. It's the inner originals.
Exactly.
And like I tell some people that I do.
Exactly.
Looking at Facebook and seeing some of the comments what our people in the Bahamas coming up with. Okay. Lincoln did not come to Grand Bahama for no fire situation. Okay. He came for some meetings.
Right.
But during the meeting, he got a text and said, boy, some fires in Pine Ridge area.
Right. Right.
And he happened to be with the candidate for Pine Ridge. This is our boy here.
Yeah, Mr. Mitchell.
Okay. And they end up to go check out how serious this fire was because people were texting the phone left. Boy, you gotta come.
yeah.
So they drop everything and they're down there.
Right. Right.
And to hear people running on, but oh, Lincoln doing this and Lincoln doing that. He want power, this and that. It is sad. It is sad in this country.
Let me make a statement in that, please.
And then hold on.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
then Mr. Michael Penta saw the notoriety and saw people were saying gravitating them. Plus a comment was left by somebody, a staunch FNM family, that Lincoln happened to go help.
Right. Right.
And that people started sharing that.
Right.
And because that probably went viral. It got the attention of Mr. Penta and others. So here he come running with a little water gun. Okay. So it took Lincoln to do these things to bring the whole cabinet of Nassau come to Freeport. Because I guarantee you, if Lincoln Bain did not come, or Lincoln didn't go in that area with to help the situation with the fire, Brave Davis, his cabinet, Michael Penta, and whoever he brought would have not come to Freeport. They probably would have mentioned it in cabinet in the next meeting, but they would have not come to Freeport. So what that tells you?
Well, more than that, even distortions, misinformation, and lies. Let me explain. The Prime Minister said that you need a tractor in a fire situation. Now, I try to understand being in construction. Why would you need a tractor in single family homes, 8 feet, 9 feet the most? What you need a tractor for? Misinformation. Okay? Then the Prime Minister came from New Providence and he had a photo. He had a photo out. He's talking. But the business of the people, as far as the fire is concerned, is burning out of control.
Okay. You said he came to photo up. What he mentioned in his speech. I don't know who wrote his speech. You know, these politicians don't make it already their own speech. But he said about this is a serious situation. We shouldn't use these situations for political gains and stuff like that. Right?
See,
okay. Check this out. That's once again, I don't know who read his speech. He made the biggest error. And it shows that the Prime Minister of the country don't know how serious a matter that this fire was and the lack of resources that this island have. Because he made a statement that he thanked the airport or crash for lending the fire truck from an airport. He's stuck with the Prime Minister. You should not remove fire trucks from any industrial sites based on emergency. Because if something happened, what's going to happen? Plane coming in. The airport wasn't closed. Flights were still taking off and landing. The fire truck was moved from there. What if we had a crash? And these are the people. These are the people who we got running our country.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live
These guys went ahead and got started without me. But that's grandmama people. They just get moving. No, they got cable before all the rest of us. They started the cable thing before us, man. No, they had canals before us. And they had an industrial city before the rest of us. So they just get going and wait for us to catch up. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in. I was spending that time to share. I want you all to do the same thing as you get on here. Please share the live. Please share the live. You know what to do. Use your @followers, @highlights, tag persons in here. And we're going to have a conversation about what's going on in the country today. The country is on fire. And we're going to highlight to you all of the areas that is on fire in the country. In fact, all of the central and northern portions of this country has a fire. Every single island, basically, major island from the central, from New Providence and Lutra, go up north, are experiencing fires right now. All of them. Andros, Nassau, Lutra, Berry Islands, Abaco, Grand Bahama. Yeah, fires burning this country to a crisp right now. And so we gotta figure out what's going on. But we want to talk about the state of Grand Bahama and what's happening here. Grand Bahama people are crying out every day. We are in Old Bahama Bay right now. The amazing resort that celebrities stay in, fly in on private jet and come here, and so we're here right now. And there was a lot of tension, etc. this whole weekend. We can talk a little bit about that shortly. But ladies and gentlemen, we can start talking about these fires that is taking over our whole country, and a little bit about how this whole thing became so political over the last few days. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by our chairman, who's broadcasting live from our headquarters in New Providence, from our Carmichael headquarters in New Providence. Good afternoon, Ms. Green, and welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Bean. Good afternoon, Bahamas, and to my Grand Bahama team. Good afternoon to you all. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Good afternoon, guys.
Yes. Also, I am joined by several of our candidates and one of our strong supporters, executives. And when I say strong, I mean literally. He got his arms are bigger than most people's legs. So that's Dwayne Marshall, one of our executives. He goes live a lot. He goes live a lot. So a lot of people in Grand Bahama know him from that, and we appreciate him letting the Bahamian people know what's going on. So when he goes live, follow him. He has a lot to say. Very smart fella. Normally, fellas with big muscles don't have a lot of intelligence, but he broke that glass ceiling, and he's a very intelligent fella. So his muscles have to be fake. So we're also joined by our candidate for West Grand Bahama, Ms. Tony Stubbs. Welcome. We're also joined by our candidate for the Pine Ridge constituency, Mr. Daniel Mitchell. We are also joined by our candidate for the Marco City area, who is going to remove Pintard, Mr. Harold Roberts.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Roberts, make sure I don't lean forward so we can see Daniel properly.
Okay.
All right? Yeah. Make sure we can see Daniel.
Yeah.
All right.
Just relax.
All right. So we're gonna have a serious conversation today about what's going on in this island and in this country as a whole. But ladies and gentlemen, if you were keeping up, you saw that. Well, we came down to Grand Bahama a few days ago for some business meetings and to deal with some business stuff in Grand Bahama. And while we were dealing with our business stuff, we got a text from someone saying that we got a text from someone in make sure we got a studio audience, y'all. So if you hear any feedback, that's because they watching on Facebook, even though they live and can see us and hear us right here. They'll make sure the volume down. It'll be all the way down, but make sure it's down. We have a whole studio audience. So ladies and gentlemen, while we were driving here, we had a business meeting, and we got a text saying that there was some fires raging in the Pine Ridge area, and we were with Daniel Mitchell, and he said, he wanted to go, so he wanted to stop what we were doing, drop everything for his Pine Ridge people, It's very biased of him. He wanted to stop what we were doing.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah,
Very biased.
put business on the side.
Yeah.
And
Gotta
let's
move.
go and
You gotta go.
let's go and deal with Pine Ridge. And so he did. So we decided to go. All of us were together, and we went in. That we tried to get into that area, and immediately we saw that there were police roadblocks, and we couldn't get anywhere. I mean, Daniel, tell us about what we experienced.
You know, coming from Old Bahama Bay all the way down into 8 Mile Rock, when we reached by the bridge going into Peel Street, they had the road blocked. Police on the side asking us where we are going. We had to let them know, well, we are going in to check out and assess the area because, you know, I'm the representative for Pine Ridge. And I mean, all on Peel Street, you could see the big smoke. I'm talking about the police garage got burned.
Oh.
I believe homes also in that area got burned. The fire was also the smoke was going into the power plant. So they had persons from the power company there making sure that that place don't catch a fire because we all will be in darkness. And you know, we don't need to be no more outage in Grand Bahama because without that, we been having power outage straight through. And to have that now happen, we will have power for at least for years, I believe. But we went through the Regency Theater area where we see a home that was burned. And while I was riding through that area, we saw a person trying to out the fire from coming to their home. So we stepped into action and we went there, assist them with moving, getting buckets of water to throw on the house to distinguish the fire from getting into the house. So we actually saved a number of homes within the Regency Theater area.
There's some people who think that maybe we staged that because they saw Pintard staging some stuff later, and maybe they thought that maybe we staged that. Like some people said I came out there in a suit to out a fire and that kind of stuff. No,
this is what get me upset. I'm saying, okay, you love your party, okay, that's fine. You loyal to your party, fine,
right?
But don't mix courtesy and love for Bahamian people with politics and say, oh, you're looking for political brownie points for doing stuff like that. Because you had no idea that the danger people was in.
Right, we're trying to save.
And people who are saying these things, they're not privy to that information that you didn't come here for no fire. No fire was lit at the time you landed in Freeport. That right there is bogus.
Right.
You're gonna make your little video, your podcast, run on a bunch of fools. You're trying to big up your party, but it ain't making no sense. Get the proper information before you come out and speak on something.
You know what?
That's my problem.
What Mr. Daniel said, it seems to me to align with sense. Okay? You're going to Peel Street. Okay? The area was blocked. Possibility of the power plant getting burned down. You continue. And on your way, you saw a person at the Regency area. And what are you supposed to do? Just sit there and just look and do nothing.
Someone who have love for people.
You're gonna help.
Yeah, we can. I mean, people who watch live, they saw it. We couldn't see them, those guys with buckets trying to do what they were doing and not come out and help. And so we had to stop the car and we came out and helped them. And we were already live. We didn't stage that by going live. We weren't even in that area. We actually passed that corner that leads there to that area, and we turned around on the live and we ended up in that direction. And so we didn't plan on going in that direction, but I couldn't see those persons losing their homes and not do anything.
Then that would have been the problem, Mr. Bain.
Yeah.
They would have planted that on you like a good lie.
Yeah.
So you're down if you do, you're down if you don't. So if Lincoln is stand there and let the people let burn and say, you know what, I ain't gonna do nothing. They can stand here and let the people in the house burn because they can say, oh, I trying to get power, or I want power, I trying to get someone house up. So let me let it burn. They would have turned around and say, that's the man who you all want. Stand up, sitting there, they ain't doing nothing. You can't please the trolls or the people who have got their mind fixed on loving party. That's them. Let them do them.
So we did our thing, and that's what we always do. We've been fighting for people for a very long time, and I've been doing that for over 2 decades now. That's just what I do, and when we do that. We don't care about your politics. When we help people, we do not care about your politics. We don't ask you about your politics. I've never assisted or helped someone and asked them with their politics. If you Bahamian, we're gonna help you. We're gonna fight for you. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're the biggest, hardest PLP. I don't care if you're a stalwart counselor of the PLP. Right. If you're in a situation, that's me. And you're a Bahamian, I'm gonna fight for you.
But Mr. Ben, I'm so glad you said that, because that's reflected in the philosophy of COI. When we are talking or we are presenting COI, we don't say, okay, we are PLPs, or in our case, we are COI, and all we are talking to, or whom we are talking to, only COI.
Supporters and whatever.
No, we don't do that.
No.
What we do is we speak more so to PLPs and FNM, because it's an education process. And we're trying to gain their confidence. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want to get Miss Green in on this conversation. Miss Green, that initial part of it where we went out there, I think, we came here for a business meeting and we ended up out there and ended up, with buckets and hoses and really burning holes in our shoes. I mean, that was, when I tell you that was hot. Marshall, you was in the fire? Marshall, you were in the fire?
No, I wasn't in the fire. But listen to me. When they heard, I stopped what I was doing and I was watching.
Yeah.
Look at Lincoln, man. Sweating bullets. You know what I'm saying? Sweating bullets.
Daniel, you were in the fire. How did that feel? You have experienced anything like that?
No, all my clothes look like they was on fire. I was like,
we
man.
have to appreciate firefighters after that.
Yeah.
Listen, my ankles were burnt up, my foot was burning, but I couldn't let that house burn down. That was a serious situation. Ms. Green.
Yes.
Go ahead. How you feel about that? About us running into that situation and doing what we had to do?
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you to all the persons who were involved in assisting the homeowners with outing the fire, so as to save their homes. Fighting fire is a very dangerous job. So persons that volunteered without the proper equipment, I just want to say thank you. We are each other's helpers and each other's keepers. Y'all truly demonstrated what it means to be our brothers, helpers, and keepers. Also, I understand that persons lost their homes. A few persons lost their homes, and I mean, with the economy the way that it is and things being so tough, people with families trying to keep a roof over their head, now they have no roof to keep over their heads. And for that, I do sympathize with them. I do feel it because, children are involved, elderly persons are involved. And if I didn't say it, definitely a big thank you to you, my leader, and to my colleagues for assisting those persons who found themselves within that disaster. But it is very sad that we are in the 21st century and we're still fighting for the basic essentials that our citizens need in order to live freely in their country and safely. We have other islands that are inhabited. We have 30 islands that are inhabited out of the 700, not that heavily populated. And yet those Bahamians are almost forgotten. They have representatives in the House of Assembly, but they are basically almost forgotten. And Mr. Bean, my colleagues, and to all of the listeners out there, Bahamians, we have to stop accepting mediocre governance. It takes the stroke of a pen, leader. It takes the stroke of a pen for our PM, who is also the Minister of Finance, to sign off on a few fire trucks. He did it for his car. I mean, these are essential that our people need. And then they called, I think, for 30. I might be wrong, so you can correct me if I am wrong. 26.
Hold on one second. We'll get to all that. We're just going to do it one step at a time. We'll get to all that stuff in a second. Just want to talk about where we are with dealing with that. And just a little segue right there. Someone made a comment that this is fire season for our country. Keep the politics out. Keep the politicians out. This is not fire season in any country. This is March, April. winter
January, February.
spring starts on March 21st. All right. So that means before that is winter. All right. The spring has just started, and spring brings April rains. All right. This is not fire season in any country in the world. All right. So that's not the case. Fire season is normally in the summer, normally around the end of July when everything starts heating up, and in August. That's normally fire season. All right. And so it's not fire season yet. So this is a strange phenomenon that has taken place. And so that makes it suspicious for some people that someone did it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So what I want to say about us when we pulled up in that neighborhood, particularly because we went in another neighborhood after that, but what I noticed was that there was a house on fire, the house that we came to, and we saw all the people trying to save that house. And I was trying to figure out whose house was that to get information from them. And then I realized the woman whose house it wasn't here. It looked like she was off the island. And those neighbors, they couldn't get her by phone. The neighbors came without anyone asking them to. They saw something happening in their neighborhood. They didn't just call the fire trucks, which they did. They came and grabbed buckets from their houses. They ran hoses and connected hoses from their houses. The woman used her water from across the street, ran the hose over there, and they were filling the buckets with the hose, and they were toting buckets. So one hose was taking too long to fill a bucket. They were also running buckets from all the way on the other side, and they were doing that to save someone else's house.
Wow. Neighbors.
That is the Bahamian spirit.
Yes.
And what I realized,
men and women, by the way.
Yeah,
yes, that's correct. And what I realized with that house, the water was off.
Yes.
So they had to get it from across the way. They had to get the water from their neighbor's house because that water there was off at that home. I'm saying now that water should be a necessity. It should be a human right. We should not have to pay for water.
Yeah.
All right. I believe in New Bahamas, Bahamians will not be paying for water. Ain't that right, Mr. Bailey?
That is very correct. Water is a human right, and no one will have to pay for water. And so, Ms. Green, you already thanked the persons who were volunteering their time and their efforts to save their neighbor's house. And I thought that really touched me.
Yeah.
And that gave me the strength to be able to, because the ground was extremely hot. One of the fellas had on boots and he was holding the hose and he said, "Oh, I got to stop this. This is hot." And he actually left. He passed the hose to someone else, how hot the ground was. Yeah. And I stayed on that ground because I wasn't going to leave and let someone lose their biggest investment, which is probably their house. And so we had to stand there and fight. And everyone fought in their own ways. One guy was raking the whole time. He was raking for hours, trying to do what he could do. That's what he thought was right. Some people were still toting buckets as we were grabbing the hose. Another gentleman was smart. He came there and brought a pressure washer, and that really helped get everything under control. But it was the team spirit. And this is something I've been doing for a long time. When I fight for the Bahamian people, I don't care about your politics. I don't care about who you are. I don't care if you're black, if you're Bahamian. We can fight for you. All right, we can stand up with you and we can help you. And that's what I saw there, and I was really, really proud of that. The neighbors pitching in, and that's how you win. And again, it's a conversation, so anyone can pitch in at any time.
But that is what I'm talking about there, that community spirit. Let me tell you something. Anytime I hear a story like this, I'm so happy. Because so much negative. The young people this one, that. When the thing hit the fan, unity happens and people get things done.
Yeah.
I was very pleased.
Someone gotta be the quarterback.
Yes.
Someone be the quarterback.
Yes.
See, everybody, like you say, plays a role.
Yeah.
That's why they have a relay. They have a starter, a second, a third, and then an anchor.
Right.
Everybody got to play a role in everything.
So thanks to the Bahamians for pitching in and doing their part.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's take this to another part. After we did what we had to do, we helped where we could help out, and we went back to continue business what we were doing. We saw that later that evening, Pinta started sending out a picture of him putting water on the boxing of a house, the abandoned house that was already on fire. The fire is inside the house. You can see it through the window. and he's putting water on the boxing on the outside of the house. With this hose, and some of them just hold the hose, man. Just hold the hose. Don't go close. Just hold. So you can hear they were staging it. Just hold on the hose, man. Yeah, don't go close, man. Don't go close. Just hold on the hose. Yeah. Make it look good. Hold on the hose. And they were doing, a photo op. I mean, how do y'all? I saw with Miss Green, and then I can hear from Miss Tony. How you feel about that, Miss Green?
About
Pintard and them staging this situation where he is putting water on the boxing of a house. The inside of the house is clearly on fire. This is an abandoned house, and he's just taking a picture or video, putting water on the boxing. So obviously that ain't gonna help with the fire on the inside. How do you feel about Pintard like trying to copy what you say?
Yeah, my feeling on that, Mr. Bain, as it relates to all of our members of parliament basically being reactive instead of proactive. Like I said, the Bahamian people are tired of the reaction to situations that needs no reaction. They sit in a place where they have power and they hold something very, very powerful in their hands, and that's the pen. Michael Pintard should not have to be on the outside of someone's house with a measly fire hose. They have the power as the sitting government, and they are the government as the opposition, to fight, to put in for fire trucks for these islands. If you care about the people and you are currently the governing party and you are currently the opposition party, do what needs to be done. Sign off and get some new fire trucks, some new ambulance. All of our islands in this country that has inhabitants on it, Bahamian citizens living on it, should not be in lack, especially when it comes to resources. So for that, Michael Pintard, along with Brave Davis, who was giving out sandwiches, they get an F because they are in power and they can do much, much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Stubbs.
Giving out sandwiches.
Yeah, so Miss Green said it's right. You have a pen, now you want to stand up and pose with a hose.
Yeah.
Now he's standing up between two abandoned cars with bush between it. You can see no one living in the building. He might as well just turn around and say, okay, this is me for the day. The gentleman on top of the car, he has a hose and the water just coming over there. He's not pointing it at the house. He's pointing it, the water's on the car when he's standing up in. So I don't see that where it was, lemon in that.
The only thing was missing in that video was someone saying, all right, take one.
Take one.
Cut. That's it. Clearly that was there. Because listen, I did fire training. And it teaches you, when you're trying to out something that is like there's a plane or a house, two things you got to do. It's a team. One got to blast the structure.
Yeah.
Other one got to blast on the inside. You got to cool down, one remove the heat and oxygen. Okay? One group hitting the building, other group blasting on the inside. You cannot out a fire just by blasting that fire, especially jet fuel, just by spraying the water on that fire like the flame rate back up.
But he was standing up and he was like having the hose and he's having a conversation.
Yeah.
What happened to
Foolishness.
the trucks of water?
So what do we do moving forward? We are about to enter in soon hurricane season. What are we doing to prepare ourselves? Now we are having disasters on most of our on a few islands as it relates to fire. I saw where Brave Davis came down and they were doing an assessment of the fire. What type of assessment is that? Was disaster preparedness there? Was the Minister for Environment, Vaughn Miller, present? What type of assessment is taking place during and after the fire? How are all of these fires happening since we just barely coming out of the winter season? What type of investigation is going on? People are literally losing their properties. They are losing their properties, and we do not want to see people lose their lives over this. We need to get serious about this because we are governing human beings. We are governing a nation. There is a crisis, and we need to be proactive instead of reactive.
Yeah, I just want to say this, and this is the Michael Pintard and the F&M. I think they must think the Bahamian people are conks, are numbskulls, are brain dead. Like all of a sudden, they are saying the government should do this, the government should do that. I'm hearing that since we went a week ago to the fire truck and exposed that none of the trucks were working, they got some part for one of the trucks. And the F&M is saying that, they ordered the part, why the PLP didn't follow up and get it. I mean, that's ridiculous because you are the MPs and you knew that the part wasn't there. You're in the House of Assembly every day and you can call the leader of the country and you can say, listen, this needs to happen. Let's fix this. Minister of National Security, we left for this part to happen. This is Grand Bahama. I'm the MP here. My people are at risk. I need you to get this part, or I need you to buy some trucks. The fact of the matter is the F&M did not buy trucks when they were in power. So anything that they say or do is disingenuous. It is ridiculous that we are talking about these basic things we have to be begging for. And guess what? They're going to bring in a truck because they're embarrassed, And then they're going to have a big celebration, all the tents out, bring the police band to march up and down around the truck. And have a big celebration and spend all kind of money eating two meat, and having a big celebration over finally bringing in a truck after 50 years. This is ridiculous. The F&M and the PLP have failed on this. And we're not interested in any of your talks. We're not interested in you holding up a hose and disingenuously because you saw what we did. Just out of the spirit of the moment, just trying to help, you feel like you have to go stage some pictures, and that is fine. No, we're tired of that. Fire trucks, man. Yep. Fire trucks. That is ridiculous.
Mr. Bean, and it's extremely sad. Once again, I go back and I say that we have people on our islands, especially the far distant islands. They are people, they are Bahamian citizens, they are souls. Each one of those islands has representatives. It seems like a lot of our MPs, they are in-house, but they represent their parties, but they don't represent the people. We have places like Exuma, where we have persons sending in information stating that the hospital or the clinic roof is leaking. All kinds of things are going there that is unhealthy. And a hospital or a clinic is somewhere where sick people go. Why do we have our people in such distress over things that can be easily fixed? And what is so disgusting is to see them in the House of Assembly quoting numbers or percentages. How does these percentages and numbers affect the people if the people are still crying, groaning, and moaning every day because they lack the basic necessities that they need in order to live a productive life that the government should be providing? And I just want to send a message out to our people. Stop accepting bare minimum and thinking that that's the best. We congratulate our government by saying, good job, my prime minister, good job, because either they made a statement. When are they going to get into the House of Assembly and actually sign policies that are going to directly impact the lives of the Bahamian people and move our country forward? We have to stop accepting this because now our children are the ones that are going to be suffering. Mr. Bean, I want to share something with you. Mm-hmm. A few weeks ago, I had loaned my office to some young men to do some work. When I came back to the office, one of the young men asked me a question. They said, if I vote for you, will you give me a job? Now, of course, I'm not that politician. I'm a Bahamian first. So I said, what? He said, if I vote for you, will you give me a job? I looked him in the eyes and I said, hell no. He said, what? But I'm in your constituency. I said, I know. I said, the Coalition of Independence is in here to fight, to make you a slave to foreign investors. We are fighting so that you can be owners and you can have opportunities and you can be partners with foreign investors. That what you're asking me, that is the way of our parents and our parents' parents' parents. That is not our portion, not this generation. We have to free our minds. And
There you go, Charlotte. There you go. Mindset. People got to change first. Exactly. I totally agree.
I 100% agree with you, and that this is why we fight. We're not raising slaves anymore, and all of our Vision 2030 is about moving Bahamians from being slaves and servants to being owners of this country, and that's what's about to happen. Next, we can move on to the response of the government itself and the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is now saying that they're looking into getting the appropriate equipment that we need to fight fires,
Of course.
et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
This 4 years
Of
in,
course, now.
every year we have forest fires to some extent.
Next year.
We've never had nothing on this level, I don't think, where so much homes was affected.
Yeah.
But we've had big forest fires in Andres, but since those foreign people started moving there and taking over, we had a big one there. But what that affected homes like this, regular homes, not on this scale.
No.
So how could you? It's election time. You already started campaigning,
That's what I'm talking about.
having your little rallies in the school and calling it branch meetings like we're stupid as a people. How do you wait until the end of your term to talk about now you're going to go get this basic stuff that we need, that is a life, that is important, that is existential to our existence? How? And that is an insult. And then I'll say, they said they're bringing 26 or 27 defense force officers. Okay, this is my problem with that, and y'all can say what y'all think about that, right? 26 or 27 defense force officers. The first thing they did was had a press conference with the defense force officers standing there in the press conference in Nassau. But focus on mom, that's why they're all. Yeah.
are we still live? I don't know if I'm still live, but ladies and gentlemen, it seems like Mr. Bean and the team has been cut off. I guess we can continue until they are able to join us. I cannot see the comments. I don't know if we are still live. But once again, thank you for being here with us this afternoon. I do appreciate you all for being here. Bahamians, we do have to take our sovereignty, we do have to take our country serious. We have to take the way that we have been governed for the past 51 years serious. I understand that some of us do have loyalty to parties, but don't you think it's time that we be loyal to our country, to our flag, to our families, our children, to what it means to be Bahamian. And most of us, I guess, don't know what it means to be a Bahamian. But my fellow Bahamian brothers and sisters, we live in the Bahamas, one of the most beautiful places on earth. And the way we have been governed, we need to stand up and say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We have our brothers and sisters living on the distant family islands that don't have hospitals, clinics, teachers, proper educational facilities. All of our islands are suffering in one form or the other. All of our family islands are suffering. Why? Because all of us are being governed under the same government. All of us are. Now, you have heard the vision. You have seen the launch of Vision 2030. You can see what can happen for this country. Every dream. Everything starts off with this fire between both governments. How long or how much longer do we need to realize that both of these governments are the same? They are the same. Do you realize it takes the stroke of a pen, my fellow Bahamians? It takes the stroke of a pen right now, this week, for the Prime Minister, who is also the Minister of Finance, to go into the House of Assembly and sign off on some fire trucks so that our islands can be outfitted with these things. Their hands are not tied. They are sitting in power. They have the power. The pen that they hold in their hand, that is a weapon. That's a powerful weapon. If our government wants to have fire truck on all of these islands, they can do it. We need to stop coming up with excuses for them. If you are a boss and you have employees working for you and they're not doing a good job, what are you going to do? You are going to fire them. And that's like our children. We send our children to school to learn. They don't get a good report. We discipline them or we find out what is going on. And I don't know how you feel, my fellow Bahamians, but the way the government handles our people, they are very dismissive. If you can recall, a few weeks ago, Brave Davis was at a meeting. I don't know where this meeting was, but I think I saw 2 videos with our Prime Minister. He is the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, at 2 meetings where he was attending meetings that I think it was of Haitian nationals. And he stated to them that I am going to be here for you. I am going to do whatever it takes. I am here for you. But what about the people on those islands? Like San Salvador and Rumkey. San Salvador and Rumkey has its very own problem. Mr. Prime Minister Philip Davis, you were the Minister of Works. But your own constituency is broken in certain areas, but yet you are pledging your allegiance, your help, and your assistance to people who are not Bahamians, who did not vote for you. And my thing is, there is nothing wrong about being our brother's keepers or helping our neighbors, but how can you help on the outside of your house when your house is also struggling, when your house has issues, and when your house is actually burning down? We must hold our governments accountable, my fellow Bahamians, by allowing them to treat us like this. What we are telling the government is it's okay to treat us like this. It's also okay to treat our children this way. And my fellow Bahamians, our children are going to have it worse if we do not stand up now. We must stop accepting mediocre governance. I am sure most of us are well-traveled. And we see how some countries are governed. I am not saying that the governance should be perfect, but the basic, our people should not be fighting for water. Our people should not be fighting for medical services. My fellow Bahamians, Lincoln, give me one more minute before you come on. Do you know what also disgusts me? Our fly carrier, Bahamas Air, our fly carrier. I understand that tourism is involved, but it's amazing how our fly carrier can fly to other countries, including Haiti. But our government has yet to connect all of our family islands together. Some of our family islands still rely on mail boat to bring building supplies, basic necessities, and food. What happens when there is a bad weather here in the 21st century, when we have other countries that are already moving with the times? We have our islands that have human being on it, Bahamians on it, still functioning like they're in the 16th century, and you know that's far. We have islands that are still living in a time capsule. How is it that Bahamas Air is flying to other countries, flying to Haiti, and we have islands in this country that are still relying on mail boat? We have to get it right. We have to free our minds. We have to start holding our MPs accountable. They sit down in the House of Assembly and some of them are mute. We are paying them for nothing. The Ministry of Natural Resources, Vaughn Miller, whilst all of this is happening in our environment, whilst we have a sunken barge in Abaco on one of our protective reefs that was there for over a year or almost a year, destroying the reef. What is Vaughn Miller saying, the Minister for Natural Resources and Environment? We are paying these people for what? We are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on consultants. Those monies can go towards the necessities that these islands require. So Bahamians, it's time to get angry. It is time to get upset. It is time to put your feet down and say enough is enough. These members of parliament work for you. They work for you. You have the power to hold them accountable. We are paying them. Mr. Bean, are you ready?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
If anyone is on the Wi-Fi, the LAN Wi-Fi, just come off of it, please. I think.
When was the last time? And you can type this into the message, into the comments. But when was the last time your member of parliament actually called for a real town hall meeting, a real sincere meeting to find out what are the concerns or what is it that you would want for them to do on behalf of your constituency in the House of Assembly? When was the last time a policy was drafted and passed that can actually benefit our people directly? Remember, my fellow Bahamians, this pen is powerful once held in the hands of people in power. It just takes a signature to empower and free a whole nation. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Good. That means you can see me at least. All right. So
Yes,
we are
can hear you
back,
now.
ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, we were having some serious technical difficulties a moment ago. Of course, this is the Bahamas where nothing works. We don't see why you should be having these problems with electricity, with internet. I mean, come on, man. I mean, how long do we sit down and just accept this mediocrity? how long do we sit down and just accept this? How could this be okay? How could this be okay in any nation? I'm sorry, just trying to get reconnected here. For the team who's actually just sitting right in front of me, I may have to just switch my camera so we could see them. But how could it be okay for nothing to be working in this country? And there's some people who accept that as the norm. Like seriously, there are people who accept that as the norm. All right. So, all right, we started to talk about Philip Brave Davis. We'll get our crew back on. We'll get our crew back on in a sec. Thanks for holding the fort. Thanks for holding the fort, Ms. Green, while we were knocked out. We're still trying to get back on here. But we were talking about Philip Brave Davis and what they did with these defense force officers. So let me just say this, because we got cut out of this. Why would people be calling me during my life? you can't be someone who knows me and knows that I'm live at between 5 and 7. Okay. They brought the defense force officers, had a big press conference in Nassau. Think about this. A press conference in New Providence with them lined off and having speeches and the Minister of National Security talking about what they are going to do. A big press conference while the fire is blazing. Fires are, time is of the essence with fires. And so you don't have time for press conferences. That means that this is about a photo op with these defense force officers. This is not about firefighting, because you would have grabbed them, put them on a plane, land them, get them on the trucks, and get them straight to. That's what you would. All right, but it wasn't about that. All right, looks like we lost connection again, but it wasn't about that. Let me just see if, yeah, that's a delay. All right, so, okay, we're back up again. So we're having a serious connection issue, so please work with me. And when they landed, so big press conference in Nassau, when they landed, big press conference again, cameras, pictures out. They are hugging and shaking hands, etc., standing up and addressing the politicians addressing the press while people's houses are, while the fire is blazing. That means this is not about
It seems that we have lost, the team in Grand Bahama has lost internet again. Like Mr. Bean said, we had a deployment of 20 to 26 defense force officers to come and assist in the combating of the fires that were raging in Grand Bahama. And I was rather concerned about that also, knowing that, number one, we had limited resources as it related to the firefighting equipment, whether it be the mask, oxygen tanks. But what was very interesting about that was the fact that this is an emergency. This is a crisis. People's houses are burning down, but they had a big, almost like a big ceremony. Even, and I say a big ceremony, you have time to line up our defense force officers, time to shake hands and have speeches while civilians are out there battling fires. The minute they come off that plane, they were supposed to be transferred to the site where our citizens were trying their best, along with the firefighters, to combat the fire. So this is why I said that where we are right now in this country, it seems like everything is for photo ops. And I see that our dear Prime Minister is home now more often. So we are seeing a lot of photo ops with him, either walking the community, standing up on a vacant land, taking pictures because he just cleared down a land, some land, feeding programs. But you know what, dear Prime Minister Davis, we actually need you and the MPs, sitting government and oppositions, to draft, table, enact policies that can actually put our country forward. And not just the country itself, but the people. Our people are suffering. Our people are suffering. There is so much more that we can be doing in this country as leaders. There is so much more that we can be doing. We are tired of the back and forth. We are tired of the rhetoric. We are tired of the smoke, the smoke and screen mirrors. We are tired of that. Get into the House of Assembly and govern. Michael Pintard, you are the chairman of the PAC committee. Oppose, oppose, investigate. Haul whoever you have to haul, but you know what? You will not do it, because by investigating the PLP means you will have to investigate yourselves. So we know that's never going to happen. You all both are going to pretend fighting each other until the day of elections. Bahamians, do not get played. Do not get played. Mr. Bean, are you back? Okay, it seems like they are still down. It seems like they are still down. And my phone, we could start calling in. My phone is currently, I'm using my phone to do this live. So if I was not using this phone, I would tell you call in. But my fellow Bahamians, it's time that we take the governing of our country serious. It's time that we take the governing of our country serious. Now it is campaign season. It is campaign season, and we're going to have a lot of our MPs that are currently sitting in the House. A lot of them are going to come knocking on our doors. The question we need to ask them is how, why should we, the people of this country, vote for you? Why should we put you back in the House when they could not even meet the basic requirement or deliver on the basic promises? My fellow Bahamians, I know they say that Bahamians are very passive, but we truly need to hold our government accountable. We do.
We'll take that out.
Okay, you are live, Mr. Bain. You can go ahead.
Yes, we're just trying to get switch equipment here, and we'll be good to go. Okay. There we go. All right. So now we can see our team. All right. Everyone is back up and running for a sec. Ms. Green, for holding the fort. You were obviously right in what you were saying. You're obviously right in lost again. Okay, you guys are probably still on, but we lost. But this here is a failed state. The internet is going up and down. All right, so guys always assume the internet is up. The internet is going up and down. I'm sorry, but this is a failed state. It says the government is considered to have failed at some of its basic responsibilities, keeping the legal system working correctly and providing public services. Example. All right, we're back up. So we're going up and down on this internet thing. So we're so sorry for that. But this is a failed state. Is this the Bahamas?
Yes.
Wow.
Guys, you're
Mr. Lincoln, Mr. Lincoln Bill, we have to remember that certain things, as although it appears not to be so, is intentional.
mm-hmm.
Seriously, let me take it from this angle. You have an education system, and here it is, you are supposed to be teaching students to take care of themselves after school. But when you get to the age of maturity, be it 18, 19, or 20, you're just going to look for a job. You had 12 years, 13 years in school, and you did not teach them to, one, own anything. Two, how do you properly fill out forms for any contracts? How do you set up business? The very simple things to survive. But instead, you are taught how to fill out an application to go look for a job.
Wow.
COI, as a contrast, wants to teach and will teach ownership. What do we mean? Where the student is taught not only to work in the country, we don't have a problem if that's a choice, but also to lead and own its country. We have no idea of any such structure, even in play or on the way in terms of consideration. There's nothing state when it comes to that.
Education.
Fail.
It starts from the school.
This- Okay, we're back on. I think everyone realizes that this is
Okay.
yeah. Sorry for this. We're going up and down, so we humbly apologize for that. There's nothing we can do about that right now. We're in a failed state.
Right.
And everyone realizes that. But the question is, do we keep accepting it? Do we keep letting the politicians make excuses for doing nothing? Why can't we have the basic? I mean, 50 years later, instead of like being like other countries and having they could be proud of, we still talking about
And to control the people is to keep them in need, begging, pleading. Then we will stay in power. It's been a strategic plan from day one.
I agree.
What I don't understand about our people, we smart, you know. The Bahamian people are some of the most brilliant people on God's green. You can take us and put us anywhere on this world. I know my people. I know my Bahamian people, you can put us anywhere on this planet and we can come over on top.
Yeah.
Tell us the United States, we got police chief as a Bahamian in the United States of America right now.
Yes.
Documented, it's there. We're smart. But the thing is, you can go to a movie, within a minute of the movie, we could basically figure out who the bad guy is, who corrupt, who this, who that. But in real life, we can't figure it out to see that we being bamboozled and stuff like that. So our mindset in this country.
Yeah.
Pride.
Think it's pride?
Man.
When I say pride, okay, you know, like our parents, and all that,
Speak up so they can hear you.
We are F&M, PLP, so just
Okay.
we falling behind our parents.
All right.
But we know they know what's better, and so they teach us, say, okay, move ahead.
I follow you.
You know,
I follow you.
they pride and say, okay, we's always PLP, forward PLP.
Okay.
That's forward.
I agree.
Pride now it's a new party. Change is here, so that's when we come in and fight men to show them, hey, pride, you gotta pride the humans. Come on.
So what you're
Yeah,
saying
that's what I'm saying.
is we gotta really fight to change the mindset of those people who were bred LP and FNM is the way to go.
We have to know. We have to go there and fight and show them that change is here. Not the same way as always, like you say, we stuck in the
old days.
all right. So now, like say we campaign and we go out and campaign, you know we catch us? A lot of young people.
Yeah.
Yes,
A lot
we
of
do.
young people
Yeah.
say they're not doing what they
Right. What their parents taught them.
and yes. And I caught a lot of seniors also.
Mhm.
We want change and the same thing, I'm a PLP, but I make sure my children, but I will support you. Okay? The same thing. But now they could tell me that and their children, they push their children. See, I already have 2 seniors died in my constituency who want to change. They died, but their children voting for change. So we go there and keep on pushing this change and pushing it and showing it to our children, the school, it's starting to, you see, change is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think immediately when we come to government, we need to attack the first things we need to attack is the basic needs of the people.
Indeed.
That's the first thing that we need to address. In our first 100 days, we need to make sure we have all of our basic needs covered. We need to have a full assessment of our internet to see if that is functioning properly, what the problem is, and we need to do what we have to do to get that done. We've released a plan for what we would do with the internet, and we may have to go back to that. Water. We have to make sure that we always have water. We're surrounded by water. My Lord, we're surrounded by it. There's desalination that you can do to get water from anywhere now. That's why they don't. And we are a very humid country. And so there's a lot we can do to make sure we have water and that we have free water. We need to make sure we have proper electricity. We need to go into real solar, not selling out our solar to Frankie Wilson and the FNM, the Turnquest, etc., which is focal, the FNM and PLP. So now they're selling you what they're getting for free, which is the sun.
Right.
That is a scam, and they should not be celebrating that. But solar is more reliable. They don't have generators to break down, not all those moving parts. And so we need to make sure that these basic needs are covered. Telecommunication is there for the Bahamian people, and all our basic needs are covered, man. Fire trucks, ambulances, and hospitals. The basic needs have to be dealt with within that first 100 days. We should be addressing that. Of course, a hospital won't build in 100 days, but at least you should see where this hospital is well on the way.
Right.
All right. This is a promise that we will not be have to be as Bahamians begging for basic needs anymore. We're gonna have a country that works. All right. I want a country that works.
Yes.
That's
yes,
what I want.
yes.
I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, we want a
But
country
that's
that
what
works.
I want. All right. And so y'all could plug in how you all feel about that.
I feel like even the PLP or FNL, people tend to love their party until they directly are impacted or affected by the lack of leadership of their government. When it's their time to feel pain, that's when you hear them come screaming, "Oh, I'm tired of this." A lady the other day took her baby, little infant, to the hospital that picked up her temperature. The woman in the night, at 6 o'clock p.m., took the baby 3 hours, not call her name yet. After that, they had to make noise. The baby was in pain, screaming. She had to stand up and make noise in the round to get her attention. The nurse finally took the baby and screened the baby, check heartbeat, temperature, whatever, realized she had a high fever, and still say, wait till the doctor call your name. No, the hospital was busy that night. The lady had to stand close to me outside in the draft. Baby head covered up. The baby could have died.
Isn't according to law, infants and elderly people are first.
Oh, yeah. So apparently, they probably waiting to the doctor changing shift. That's another thing. Changing shift. Sickness don't change shift. You changing shift. Nothing works.
Nothing when it comes to that.
And to see our people in this country. See, my thing is, right? Let's go to politics. Let's go to politics. If you find to be the government of the Bahamas, you got some party standing. You come with your plan. Your plan is, oh, we can lower taxes. Okay, I can increase pension, even another year or two, whatever. That's your plan. I go to the next party. The party tell me, well, you're going to free, you're going to more. Can be free, water free, light free, okay? Natural resources, we can exploit that, and we make sure all our citizens get royalty checks. That sounds better to me.
There you go.
I can't with that plan. Don't tell me the plan can't wait. When you're the government, and you got the resources, you got the power to make things wait. That's for me. Show me it can wait. If it's fair, at least you try.
Make the pan work.
Don't tell me it can't wait when I know better. Don't tell me it's sky blue. I see it and black.
Let me tell you why they have to tell you a lie. Let me be frank with that. Okay? Because they have no plans for you.
Exactly.
The only group, and this is confirmed, it's called 2030. So check it out, people, please. That has a plan on record to date for the Bahamian people is the Coalition of Independence. Okay? Now, I would admit, when it came to the missionary staff, Prime Minister Philip Edwards came to Grand Bahama, put on a show. And he mentioned something but tourism, and of course, his deputy said it was booming, and it was so forth and so on. Why there were people living on butt stuff in Grand Bahama? Okay, in Grand Bahama, and there is no. Yes, the point. None of them have any plans for this country for education. None have plans for transportation. None have plans for healthcare. None have plans for anything as strong as COI has.
I want to let the Indian people know that if our leaders don't love us, what you expect for them to do for us?
Exactly.
Our healthcare system has failed the Bahamian people for more than 51 years. We don't have no machines here in Grand Bahama or in the properties that we deal with. Surgeries here in Grand Bahama. Persons have to leave this country and go abroad for better healthcare. Nothing works. It's because they don't love us. That's plain and simple. If they didn't love us, they'll put a proper healthcare system that works. They'll put a proper education system that works. They'll put a system in place that will work for the Bahamian people. But because they don't love us, that's the main thing. That's why they are not doing that for the Bahamian people.
I want to say something before I go on while we still have internet. What I'm sharing on the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, is a satellite view of fires. You can see fires all around the world, and where the satellites detect fires, they show them on the map. So what you're seeing on the map right now is that the Bahamas is on fire. The whole from Central, which is Andros and Nassau, and Eleuthera, go up north, is on fire. And so all of the red dots that you see is fire. All right. Andros has all these fires. There's one big fire in Nassau over there. There's fires in Eleuthera. There's fire here in the Berry Islands. Abaco has 2 fires at least blazing right now. Grand Bahama has fires on the east and in the, I don't know if you call it central or the west, but fires are blazing. Let me zoom into these fires. The internet is bad, so you just gotta bear with me. I don't even know if we're still live, if you still can see this. Um, just needed to give it a sec to refresh. Hopefully it'll do. Okay, there we go. So look at Andres. You see all these orange and red right here? That's fires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fires. Big fires, as you can see, blazing in Andres right now as we speak. This is in the western side of New Providence right here. That's the fire blazing on the southwestern part of New Providence. Let's go east to Eleuthera. It's taking a minute to load up. But as you can see, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 fires in Eleuthera right now, blazing. This is a live footage. It's trying to update. It's going a little bit slow, so just bear with me. I'll go up. Just need some time to refresh. But okay, it's taking a minute, so I won't hold this conversation up. But you saw them, but it was showing all of the fires. Okay, look, it's coming up slowly. Give it a sec. Give it a sec. Just bear with me. Okay, something's happening. Stop refreshing. Okay. Okay, it's not doing as fast as we would want it to do. But you saw what I showed you earlier, but it's showing that fire. This country is basically on fire, and we don't have the equipment to deal with this. And again, I'll say to you again what I said to you earlier. This is not fire season. I don't know why people are saying that. I don't know why that's coming out of our mouths, but this is not fire season. All right, and no country in the world is March and April. And even make songs about it. No April rain.
No April rain.
The spring is when rains come and causes everything to blossom and bloom. All right. And so this is not fire season. All right. So I see that I'm talking. I don't know if I'm still live, but we'll see. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, the country's on fire and we don't have what it takes to deal with it. All right. And we have to fix it. We're having such bad internet problems today. I think we're not going to take any calls. We can't take any calls. I know I wish I could hear your voices and hear the people of Grand Bahama speak about this, or should I take calls? Okay, we're going to take calls. Let's see how we could get this done. Let's say.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, the internet is currently down. So we do apologize for this technical difficulties, but this is beyond our control. And like Mr. Bean said, we are in a season where fires, this is basically not fire season. We're just coming out of the winter season, and this is definitely not fire season. So this is why it's important for our government and national disaster preparedness, if this is their area, along with environmental, to go and do a proper assessment and to see where these fires had started. We need to know if these fires were done intentionally or were started intentionally, or however were they started. But we must, our government must do proper investigations. And now that we see that fires are happening throughout our family islands, we would like to know when they enter into House of Parliament this week, what are they going to do? We are not interested in both of them playing ping pong in the House of Assembly, tossing the blame ball back and forth through the courts. We are not interested in that. We want to know what can be done. We need proactive movement within our government, not reactive. Okay? We are aware that populations, citizens, Bahamians are living on these islands. What do? Those islands house people. Put the necessary amenities on these islands so that our people are able to live the life that they should be living in their own country. Why do we feel like you don't even feel like guests in your own country, a guest? Because you don't treat guests like this. Okay? We are citizens of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We have elected officials to govern our country, to safeguard our security. Okay? You're doing this on behalf of the people. You're being paid out of the treasury. And we're paying, like I said again, we're paying hundreds and thousands of dollars to the consultants. We're paying consultants on crime, consultants on, I think, natural resources that Bahamians are not benefiting from. So what are we paying the consultants for if our people are not going to directly benefit from it? It makes no sense. We need to divert our monies. We need to divert our country's finances in the areas that it is needed. NIB, social services, education, health care. And we understand because we are feeling it, that almost every single ministry, basically every single ministry in this country has been rendered a failure. So again, my fellow Bahamians, I ask you, what are we paying them to do? Are we paying them to fail us every 5 years? Why are we paying them to give bad treatment? Why are we paying them to give away our country? Why are we paying them sitting from our natural resources? Why is our allegiance to party and not the country? Why is our allegiance to party and not to family? We need to get it right, because I truly believe that this is our last election before we truly lose our country.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're having major internet issues here. And again, we're in a country that doesn't work. So there's little that we can do about that. And so we're so sorry for that. We were going to try to take calls a minute ago. We're unable to do so. It's crazy that Bahamians will accept this and put on their yellow and red shirts, and this is just fine for them. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. We got to do something about this, ladies and gentlemen. And so we're hoping that you are willing to stand up with us and do something about this instead of just continuously crying about this. We wanted to show you some videos of people in Eleuthera. Eleuthera people, we hear your cry. Just don't vote for them again. All right? Whatever is happening,
Mr. Bean, there's a serious echo. You have a serious echo.
Or we didn't vote and that allowed it to continue. So we can't. A no vote is a vote for whoever wins. So there are some people who say, man, I ain't voting, because they always do the same thing. Then you are actually voting. A non-vote is a part of the political process. That means that you are saying whoever wins, I'm with them. That's what you're saying. So you have to vote for someone. Vote for a change. Pintard, Dwayne Sands, Shannon Cartwright is not change. All right, they've failed us. The PLP is not change. Let's vote for change, man. Just give change a try. It can't get worse than this. What do we have to lose? Seriously, it can't get worse than this.
Mr. Ben, you're having a terrible feedback.
So, Ms. Green, I have to end it there. I don't think we have any announcements for anything this week, but stay tuned. To the COI, just stay tuned. We are in Grand Bahama helping out here, and we're going to get to every family island. Some people are saying they're ready for their candidates. only 10 constituencies we have not ratified candidates for. And we are working hard to get those persons in other constituencies ratified. So just stay tuned for that. And we had some special edition T-shirts that were printed, and so we're gonna release them to the public very soon. So just stay tuned to our Facebook pages, our social media pages for that. And we'll be back here next Sunday. We're sorry we couldn't open the phone lines because guess what? The phone isn't getting any signal also. Yeah, I can't get any regular cell signal on the regular line from where I am right now. And as soon as I say that, it started working. What if they're calling in? Let's see if they're calling in for the show. Good afternoon, you're live. Hello. Hey, hold 1 second. Put you on speaker. Okay, you're the first person to get through. Go ahead, caller.
Look at the internet alone. If they want to talk about failed states, 51 years of candy and United Stations, and we gave away our phone company in a fire sale. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Just challenge you about it for a failed state.
Yeah.
Failed, but we have to fix it. We can fix the Bahamas.
Yeah.
But you did a good job the other day. Nobody was out there fighting that fire but you. You let them know. And they left you with no resources to do it. But still, remember the story of the couple fish and 5 loaves of bread?
Yeah.
7 people home was saved by you with a garden hose. You know how powerful that is?
Wow.
Only God could have done that.
Yeah.
He didn't give
You
up.
multiplied what you were doing tenfold. Anyway, you have a good one, eh?
Yeah, thank you, man. All right, well, someone actually did get through. You know, Graham used to call in shows. They know how to get through, but everyone will be calling and busy. And regular callers, they just get through. They got some kind of skill with that. Okay, someone else is calling too. Good afternoon, caller. You're live.
Good afternoon.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, caller.
Sorry, I just wanted to let you know that we have a lot of feedback coming through because you're on live on 2 devices.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Sorry about all the feedback. We just knocked one of them off just now. Hopefully you can still hear us properly. But yeah, so you can call in. It looks like it hasn't gone down for a minute. But you have to call regular line, guys. If you have regular, you can call on the WhatsApp call regular line because we're using that device. Okay. 803-5995. If you want to say something about what has been going on, how do you feel about this? I mean, it's a comical situation. They can justify buying fancy BMWs, but can't buy fire trucks. I mean, the country's on fire. And that's acceptable to some people. Some people are going to just say, I don't care. We don't care. Just let it burn. We don't need no water. Let it burn. That's what they're saying. You know, because, you know, they're just going to vote for party and they absolutely don't care that nothing works. You know, look at that island. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Let's go to the phone line. Good evening, you're live.
And it's the propaganda thing where they're trying to use honorable of the coalition in fighting the fire in Grand Bahama. We also see this as a plot by both organizations trying to cover their negligence in providing fire trucks in those islands. We have seen to there's been no semblance of occasions, and there's been no infrastructural progress within the islands. And we must say, you know, then they say, Mr. Bain was in Freeport, Grand Bahama and did nothing. He saw everything going on and he didn't do nothing. But because he stopped trying to stop things that they have, we have told, they call in the country, told from the action and situation and see and get the necessary means for these infrastructural materials to save their lives, their family lives, and your brothers and sisters on the other island. And we support you. They may say, I believe that there is good government, your leadership, and
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. 8035995 is the number. It's right there on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, the old weapon of the politicians is to use person, pay them some money. Persons who don't have any personal reputation, so they can go there and say whatever they want in front of people. We've seen people being convicted of libel. They don't care. They continue to do it. So they're gonna pay you to do it. That's not for anything that.
Mr. Bain, if you can hear me, your service is extremely poor. We hardly could hear anything the caller was saying.
That's like the job of Satan. His job is to twist the truth. He gives the truth, but he twists it. And so that's his role. And so they've decided to become like demons, like just like Satan. And so you can also tell, hold the line for who they're working for. If you see a troll constantly attacking a party that has never been before, who's never destroyed this country, raped and wronged this country, is not benefiting from the country it is, then that's a troll. Right. All right. If their focus is on attacking us, then you know that that's a paid troll. Because you should be more concerned about what the PLP is doing with our country's money, what the PLP is doing with our resources. That's what your concern should be if you really concerned with the country, not whether the COI is going to win. If a troll says, "Oh, y'all need to win," if you don't think we can win, why are you talking about us every day? Why are we in your conversation every single day? You wake up in the morning, all you talking about is drinking me, all you talking about is COI. Obviously, you are afraid that we're going to win. That's why you talk about us every day. Right. You're not talking about any other third party. All right? I mean, it's only one third party. You're not talking about any other party. So, obviously, you are afraid of the COI. Because I don't want you waking up talking about any of them other numbers. You're not talking about them. You're talking about us. So, obviously, you are trying to convince yourself that the COI can't win. That's why you got to say it every day. You're trying to do affirmation yourself because you believe you can win. You're terrified that you can lose your product. All right? So they're going to pay trolls. So you're going to see trolls for the FM side. All right? That FM troll is working within that. How you can tell is you'll see them attacking COI, and then you see them attacking PLP, and then they'll throw softballs at the FNM, right? Because they got to still seem legitimate. So they'll throw little softballs. They open that, you should do this, that, but then they'll attack viciously, lies, and stand and find the pettiest thing. Now you know who they work for. All right? So if they're attacking us, attacking the PLP, they work for the FNM. Now, if they're attacking us, attacking the FNM, all of them attacking us, all eyes on me. All right? They are all over me and the COI. All right? We are public enemy number one for our party. So now if you see them attacking and throwing softballs at PLP or just praising them, now you know who is paying them. These people are being paid to spread lies and to keep you in poverty and to keep this country failing. They are a minion of politicians. Don't ever send something to me that comes to political troll and ask me if that's true. because I'm going to seriously question your intellect. If it's coming from a political troll, 99.9% of the time, it's not true. So your assumption should first be, oh, that's from a troll. I'm not paying attention to that. I'll wait till I hear it in the news or something. That's what it should be. It's coming from political troll. If they say, oh, COI, this is someone. If you're hearing it from the someone, if you're only hearing it from a political troll, it's garbage. Hear it from the someone. Oh, Lincoln did this. I heard, oh, Lincoln did this in the church. How come you're hearing that from no one in the church? Not one person. You're only hearing that from political troll. Come on, let's use our intellect and stop them and fuel us to continue destroying this country. Nothing from a political troll counts. All right, that's the whole weapon. Let's not waste time with that. Let me take this call and then we'll continue. Good afternoon, caller. Yes.
And a great opportunity to hear your voice and to speak. We've had an opportunity to go down and talk to citizens about and how citizens are.
No, I just want to say in there too, it wasn't just me. Daniel Mitchell lost his suit too. He destroyed his suit and his shoes too. All right? he's the candidate for Paris, and other persons were with us also out there. So it was a team effort. But I just want to say that while other persons with us were properly dressed for that occasion, or better dressed for that occasion, Daniel lose a whole suit. I don't think the cleaners could do nothing with that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think your camera is okay. Yeah, now I can see you. Yeah, I can. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a special happy birthday. Special happy birthday to Mrs. Green. She's one of the best cooks, not just in the Bahama People world. And so I just want to say a special happy birthday to her. She's not only the best cook, she's one of the best nurses in the world. So yeah, she's the best everything. So I want to say a special happy birthday to Miss Phyllis Green. Just want you to know that she loves you. I didn't have all this spoken nation going on. I would sing for you. But I'm sure all my throat and my lungs are all tore right up right now. Phyllis Green, Miss, she's actually right here with us. But Miss Phyllis Green, we want to thank you for people better. I wonder if I can. True. Maybe this scratchy. This scratchy. Yeah. Let's smoke damage. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. God bless you. Happy birthday to you. Oh yeah, you put it up, Chief. Chief, you put it up. Many, many flowers. Oh my God, fight for the baby people. Like this is not right. Spoken the truth. Yeah. We made it. We made it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it today. We didn't do the full 2 hours today. Miss Green is there. I can't see Captain on Miss Green. Um, we're gonna wrap it up there. We had a lot of technical difficulties. Nothing works in Bahamas. This is a failed state. So we've lost. Okay, off my screen again. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you for tuning in. I'll turn this camera on me. Uh, yes, I'm sitting right here with them. I just want to thank all of you for tuning in and being a part of this. We're gonna fight for this country. We're gonna go live again Sunday. We're gonna be talking about. It looks like it freeze, but I hope I'm still up. Let me turn on the other one just in case. I don't know if you can hear me, but ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to be talking about tourism and entrepreneurship. Those two areas, tourism and entrepreneurship. Okay, we lost something again. I don't even know if we're still up, but ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call it a day. I was supposed to talk. Uh, Let me see if we can get up. Let's see if we'll get back up. Okay, we're not getting back up. Are we still up? I guess we're down. I guess we're down. So, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I don't know where we're up. I was supposed to talk about Old Bahama Bay, but I may do a special live later this week for that. And I think we're going to end this here because we're not getting good internet. So okay, so we're back up now. So ladies and gentlemen, we're not getting good internet. So we're going to end this live here. We're supposed to talk about Old Bahama Bay and what's been going on here and this crime of the century and how the politicians are getting involved in this and dirtying their hands with what's happening here. But I think I'm going to do a special live later this week, probably on a Tuesday or something like that, so that you can know exactly what is going on. Because this is a crying shame what's happening at Old Bahama Bay. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a special show just for that to bring you up to breast on what's been happening here and why there's a state. All right. So we're going to end the live there because we can't get good reception. And so I don't know if Miss Green is still there. Miss Green, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, you have any closing remarks?
I just want to let the Bahamian public know that if you have not registered, and I will always reiterate this when I have the opportunity, if you have not registered, please go out and register. It is very important for you to participate in this upcoming election. Obviously, our government is arming other individuals to vote in our upcoming election. So it is very important that we man our gates. This is where the fight is going to take place at our polls. So get involved, be a part of history, because we do need change in this country. If you're interested in being a part of the organization, you can either visit coalitionofindependence.com, our website, sign up as a member. You can come into the headquarters on Pinewood Drive, or you can visit the headquarters at the Carmichael constituency, which is located on 8th Avenue South. So my fellow Bahamians, just get involved. Bring the change that our country desperately needs. No one is going to save us. And like Danielle Mitchell said, the government doesn't love us, but we have to take accountability for that. We have to love ourselves first before anyone can love us. That means holding the government accountable. we are just as responsible for the direction our country is headed in. So to my fellow Bahamians, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Any final words y'all want to say?
Us.
I got something to say.
I'm sorry, Ms. Green, you weren't finished. You continue.
I'm done. Thank you very much.
All right, you guys.
Okay. So to end this, we talk about vision. Right? My thing is, someone have to have love for you first, have vision for you second. Okay? It's like you have a girlfriend or a wife, you think about her constantly. So the more you think about her, the more things to make her happy. You gotta have love first. So it shows that the politician has no love for all these years. That's why our country's still in the state. But now we got somebody that's showing love and saying they're gonna bring the love. With the change, you got some people trying to backlash. If you make people all wake up, let's do that. Okay? Go with somebody that loves you. Love is something you can feel. When I see this country, you can't touch nothing, you can't feel nothing. That's all I gotta say. Change is here.
Love covers a multitude of sin. I want to say, Joe Pine. I have heard your cries, and I have come. Stand in the gap and initiate in Pine Ridge to bring about real change for the residents of Pine Ridge. So vote Daniel Mitchell for the Coalition of Independence for real change.
Come on, all of us have to go in and register to vote so we can win this election. COI or nothing. COI or nothing. West Bahama.
Marco City is saying, let us all unify. Because we understand what the issues are. We know how things have been over the last, some say 51, I say 70 years. Okay? But let us gather ourselves, register to vote. That's the only way we are going to win this election. If we register to vote.
And vote for party and have true meaning and bring in a for true change. Not the
coalition of independence.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, my final word is that I love you and I love my Bahamas and I'm fighting for this. That's it and that's all. See you next time.
Thank you.